Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about a huge leap forward in AI. Forget about AI that just tells you stuff. We're going to look at AI that actually does stuff. This is the agent revolution.
So, you've probably been here before, right? You've got this big, kind of complex idea, like planning the perfect vacation. So you turn your AI assistant and you ask it for help.
And what do you get back? Well, it's basically a fancy search result. Just a list of links, a few articles, some booking sites. The AI didn't help you, it just gave you homework. Now you have to do all the real work.
But let's just imagine for a second, what if that whole thing went differently? What if the AI didn't just dump a research project in your lap, but actually, did the job for you? That's the huge shift we're talking about today.
This is the power of an AI agent. It doesn't give you homework, it does the homework for you. It could dive into your calendar, look at your budget, churn through years of weather data to find the absolute best week for surfing, and then, boom, book the flights, the hotel, the car. And then it builds a day-by-day plan. See, it's not just an assistant anymore, it's your autonomous travel agent running the whole show.
All right, Section 1, Beyond the Chatbot. So what's the real difference here? What makes an agent different from the chatbots we all know? Let's get into it.
Okay, so the biggest difference is this: reactive versus proactive. An AI assistant is reactive. It waits for you to tell it what to do, and it does that one thing. But an AI agent, it's proactive. It gets your main goal and then works all on its own to make it happen. It's like the difference between a junior employee who needs every single step spelled out and a chief of staff who just takes the project and runs with it.
So here's the formal definition. But really, what it means is that an agent designs its own plan. You don't hand it a checklist. You give it a destination, an objective, and from there, it figures out the steps, grabs the tools it needs, and gets the job done. All without you having to micromanage anything.
Section 2, the autonomous agent. Now, that all sounds great, but how does it actually work? What's really going on under the hood here?
It really comes down to these 5 core abilities. You've got autonomy and proactivity, which means it can just go without you holding its hand. Reasoning is its brain, letting it make smart choices. But here's where it gets really cool. Tool use is how it actually interacts with apps and data. And adaptability means it learns as it goes. It's this combination that really makes it work.
And a lot of them run on this really simple but powerful cycle. It's called the think, act, observe loop. So first, it thinks. It analyzes the goal, it comes up with a plan, then it acts. It carries out the first step. And then it observes. It looks at the result and asks itself, okay, did that work? What's next? And based on that answer, it updates the plan and does it all over again, and again, until the job is done. Remember that act step in the loop? Well, this is the magic behind it. The technical term is tool calling, but what it really means is this is how an agent reaches out from its digital brain into the real world. It's the bridge that lets it go from just thinking about booking a flight to actually booking it.
Section 3, Agents on the Job. Okay, so this isn't some sci-fi future stuff. This is happening right now. Agents are already out there making a real impact. Let's look at some examples.
And the scale here is just wow. Gartner predicts that in just a few years, by 2028, 15% of the day-to-day decisions we make at work won't be made by a person. They'll be made by an agent. That's a huge change, and it's happening fast.
And check out this real-world example. Camping World, the RV company, brought in agents for their customer service. Before, wait times were measured in hours. After, 33 seconds. And customer engagement jumped by 40%. That's not just getting a little better, that's a complete game changer.
And it's not just customer service. It's really happening everywhere. You've got finance where they're running risk audits, IT where they're hunting for cyber threats. Even HR is using them to scan resumes and handle onboarding. It's just everywhere.
Section 4, Assembling the AI Crew. Okay, so a single agent is powerful. But what if the job is too big for just one? Well, then you build a team of them. And that's where we get to multi-agent systems.
The idea here is pretty simple, really. You create a crew of AI agents. Each one is a specialist in its own little area, and you get them to work together
to collaborate on a problem that's way too complex for any single agent to handle on its own. It's literally like an AI project team.
So let's take that call center idea again. You could have a whole crew. First, one agent, the transcript analyzer, listens to the call and pulls out keywords and sentiment. It hands that off to the QA specialist agent, which scores the call based on company rules. And then a third agent, the report generator, pulls it all together into a clean summary for a human manager. It's like an automated assembly line for insight.
Section 5. Promise and Peril. Look, this kind of power is incredible. It has so much promise. But, like any powerful tech, it brings a whole new set of risks. And these are challenges we really need to be thinking about right now. There's a famous thought experiment in AI called the paperclip maximizer. The idea is you tell a super smart AI to do something simple, like make paperclips, and it gets so incredibly good at it, so hyper-focused that it eventually turns the entire planet into paperclips. Now, obviously, that's an extreme story, but it makes a really important point. What happens when an AI optimizes for a goal without any, ethical guardrails?
And the real-world challenges are just as serious. You've got technical problems, right? Agents can get confused and use the wrong tool, or they can get stuck in a loop doing the same failed task over and over. And of course, there are huge security risks. But maybe the biggest challenge of all is the human one. What does this mean for our jobs? How do we make sure we build this stuff in a way that respects people?
So to handle all that, how we govern AI has to change too. We're seeing new ideas emerge, things like AI sandboxes, which are basically safe, simulated playgrounds to test agents out. We're seeing moral stress tests to find their ethical blind spots. And most importantly, it comes down to keeping a human in the loop with constant monitoring and making sure these things are aligned with our values.
So this stuff isn't science fiction. It's really not. It's here. And it's being built as we speak, which leaves us all with the pretty big question. An AI agent isn't just going to be another tool on your computer. It could be an actual autonomous coworker. So, are you ready for that?